Yeah, you know what it is.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. Purple and white, but you know what I mean. Double 11 senior year made history. Football, we took it to the playoffs. Collinsville, white and purple, yeah, we are the Kahoks. I said the Kahoks, the school of champions. We laugh a lot, we rap a lot. I'm asked to be an Indian again. I'm telling them that Collinsville is where it's at. So when we on the field of court, they better be aware of that. They scared of that. Of course, look at the ceiling. What up, Mr. Floyd? Yeah, it's Collinsville. And yes, I'm glad to say that I'm a Kahok. I'm about to graduate. Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
White and purple, yeah, I know you see it. You see the chaos and you tell yourself you wanna be it. I go to CHS, so I am a champ. I ran this game so long, I'm starting to get a stomach cramp. Class of 1, 2, but we're number 1. Shout out to all my juniors, yeah, you know we get it done. White and purple, you already know. It's little easy peasy and that boy lay low.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
I'm about my white and purple, Scarface and DJ Screw. We on the peak of the mountain, best at what we do. Yeah, we the champs, homie, but we ain't selling shoes. These boys bleeding purple, call us the cheapest crew. They don't gotta do it big, cause I don't play with sports. I play my cards right. Now a good report. When Dub 12 comes, it's time to roll off. I'm in the back cause everybody rolling with me. K-Hawks.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Look, all the freshmen, sophomores,
High school, champions.
yeah, they know what it is.
All around my town, everything is
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
we shut it down for the school and the sports team.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
And a very good evening, everyone, as we welcome you to a very soggy and wet Kahok Stadium here on the campus of Collinsville High School, as we get you set for some girls' soccer action, the only game in town that has not been called off for the day. The baseball teams, all of them, and the softball teams, all of them, have all lost their games today due to Mother Nature, but not in the world of soccer. As long as there isn't any lightning, we will be playing, and there isn't any lightning, so we are going to be playing. My name is Todd Duke. Glad that you're with us here on a rainy Thursday night as we get you set for this ladies' Kahok soccer game between your Collinsville Kahawks and the O'Fallon Panthers. And we welcome you in to the Cullip Jennings Florist pregame show. Cullip Jennings Florist, a staple in the Collinsville area, has been for generations. Cullip Jennings Florist is located at 517 West Clay Street. You can stop in for weekly specials. Right now, they're still focusing on all the spring flowers that you can order, pick up, put it in a vase that they provide for you, $25 to $35, depending on what kind of flowers and what kind of vase that you pick. Other than that, they're also getting you ready for Easter Sunday. That comes up here in just a couple of weeks. If you have a big Easter gathering going on at your place and you need a centerpiece for your dining room table, Culp Jennings Florist can help there as well. And then, of course, after the month of April, we have May, which is Mother's Day and graduation. So get all those orders in early at Culp Jennings Florist. Do yourself a favor. Give them a call at 344-0404 or online at culpjennings.com. Collinsville comes into this game 5-4 overall. They are 1-2 in Southwestern Conference play under their first-year coach, Chris DiGirolamo. Justin Judasak is the head coach at O'Fallon. He is in his third year, and in his third year, his team has already won more games this year than they won their previous 2 years under their new head coach. They are 7-2. They are also 1-2 in conference play. Collinsville's been busy lately. Had a weekend at Louisville Soccer Park over this past weekend. Plus, they played a double overtime game on Tuesday night at Alton. We had a chance to broach those subjects and many more with Collinsville head coach Chris DiGirolamo. We'll pass that conversation on to you next as the Culp Jennings Florist pregame show continues here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Culp Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Culp Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all design styles from traditional to trend-setting. Culp Jennings Florist is, of course, your place for beautiful flowers suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Culp Jennings Florist is there for any of life's major moments. Culp Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online, culpjennings.com.
Pre-game show here on the Kahok Sports Network. Hope everybody's high and dry on a very wet Thursday as we have made it back to Kahok Stadium for some Lady Kahok soccer. Tonight's competition will be provided by the O'Fallon Panthers, a little conference game going on in the wet conditions. Joining us now, Collinsville head coach Chris DiGirolamo. Coach, let's go back in time as we are wont to do in this kind of profession and tell us about the weekend at the Louisville Soccer Park.
Good results over the weekend. We played two quality opponents, Warren Township out of Gurney, Illinois, who historically has had a pretty strong program. We fared well. In our second match, we played Webster Groves, who's one of the better city schools over in St. Louis. A lot of club players in both those games, a lot of experience. We matched up well. I mean, we seemed to find an identity finally. The main switch we made was we looked at our back line. We're still trying to find that identity that we want to take on this year. And quite honestly, we started a freshman. We moved Sydney Summer into the back. She's one of our center backs, and at times will be underneath as a sweeper. She does an incredible job. She seems to be that one piece, that size, that physicality that we needed in the back to prevent the team, at least the opponent, from getting behind us. If you look at the games that led up to the showcase, we were constantly, seems like we were always chasing. Teams were getting behind us. We lose to East 1-0 on a one-slotted ball when we controlled the majority of the game. You look at some of the other games, and there was a theme there. You know, teams were getting behind us. Not that our back line was slow. You know, we questioned their shape and what they were doing at the times the balls were played. But we kind of just were trying to take some of the thought process out and dummy it down and make it a little easier on them by putting Sydney back there. She's got great vision. She defends well 1v1 when she's isolated. So she brought some strength I thought to the table that could really benefit. Next thing you know, we go out and we win 2 tournament games 2-0 each game. Fast forward to Alton, and you know, it is what it is. We talked after the game. You lose in double overtime. The conference rules are. I'm not a big fan of playing. You know, if you tie, you should tie, or play golden goal. You play 80 minutes. Now you got to turn around and play another 20. I never understood that rationale. So that rule's dumb in my mind, but. We go out and we play a 4:30 game, afternoon matinee, where you're just getting off the bus and you're playing. It's tough, and we weren't on turf. We were on grass. So that's one of the first grass games we've had this year. Pitch was choppy. So we had a lot of things going against us. We did well in moments of the match. We reverted to some of our mistakes that we've made in the past. We didn't get a result, and it's unfortunate because you look back on it, and that's a game you say, we could have done better.
Looking at your schedule overall and the results overall, it's kind of a strange mix of
a lot of one-goal games. You've been involved in 4 of them. You've only lost 1 of those, and that was your first game of the year. And in every game, no one scored more than 2 against you, and you haven't scored more than 2 against anyone else. Is this kind of by design, or are we still trying to kind of figure things out? Are we a defensive first team and we're working on the offense kind of thing?
I think our mentality, at least the way I've always approached it, and until they hire someone else to replace me, they can change that mindset. But goals win games, and defense wins championships. So the way I have conveyed the mindset on the field and the way we should be looking at defending is we should think in a posture defending first, and figuring out how to attack out of that position. If you don't allow a goal, what's the worst thing that can happen to you? You tie 0-0, right? And a 0-0 tie is better than a 1-0 loss or 2-0 loss. So, yeah, it is by design, but it's also, while we defend well, it's also figuring out what to do when you get a hold of the ball and how we advance as a unit up the field, right? We're playing teams that are dangerous against us because they're not teaching what we teach. They're very direct. They're very strong on the ball, and then they get a hold of it, and they play the ball behind us and run. As a coach, that's very frustrating because, we feel we're doing everything we should be doing to make our players, our program better, and then you battle for 40, 50 minutes, and then all of a sudden they win 1 ball, play it behind you, and run, and now we give up a goal. So, yeah, the long-winded answer to your question is it is by design because we've got to figure out how to knock out those slotted balls. We're starting to find out with more frequency, and I think with that we'll find more success in the counterattack and getting quality chances at the other end of the field.
All right, you have O'Fallon tonight. They have their coach, Justin Judasak. He is in his 3rd year. Typically that's when a program starts to show some signs of turning around. Well, they won 2 games his first year. They won 3 games last year, and lo and behold, they're off to a 7-2 start this year. Besides that, what do you know about O'Fallon?
They have their starting lineup is relatively young. They're still looking for their identity. They statistically have good numbers, but they're not playing any world beaters. So if you look at their first 3 games, they're in a Freeburg tournament. And their coach, Justin and I, are very good friends. So the history of Justin and I goes back to the 90s. I was his club coach for 12, 13 years. So I've known that young man since he was a little bitty, helped raise him, and, I'm very proud of what he's turned out to be. So he'll be the first to admit they haven't played quality teams the first 3-4 games of the year. They're starting to get into the tougher part of their schedule. He's excited to be here tonight and play. He knows that our lineups are similar. His style's similar to mine. Because he played underneath me his whole life. So our style is more of a club-oriented style of soccer. It's a St. Louis style of soccer where you want to get a hold of the ball, play with a purpose, play in defeat, have proper shape around the ball, learn how to change the point of attack. We don't emphasize kicking the ball and running behind the defense. And so I think you're going to see a quality of play out here tonight. I hope, even on wet conditions, that it's going to resemble quality soccer.
Thanks for the visit, Coach. Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
That is head coach Chris DiGirolamo of your Lady Kahok soccer team. We'll take a break. We'll pass along the starting lineups to you next, and we'll get things going on a wet Thursday night. All that and more coming up on the Kahok Sports Network.
Cullip Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Cullip Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all design styles from traditional to trend-setting. Cullip Jennings Florist is, of course, your place for beautiful flowers suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Cullip Jennings Florist is there for any of life's major moments. Cullip Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online, cullipjennings.com. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is a T3 certified tire center, and they can handle all of the basics, like oil changes and tune-ups, and the not-so-basic stuff, like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations, Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611, online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook. First National Bank of Waterloo. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo in O'Fallon for your mortgage and lending needs. Why? Super low closing costs, low construction loan rates, and they do so much to support our local communities. When you need a loan, come see Bill Metzger at First National Bank of Waterloo. Call Bill at 618-632-1010 or visit him at 104 Regency Park in O'Fallon or online fnbwaterloo.com. That's my bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Cullip Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Cullip Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all design styles from traditional to trend-setting. Cullip Jennings Florist is, of course, your place for beautiful flowers suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Cullip Jennings Florist is there for any of life's major moments. Cullip Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online cullipjennings.com.
And once again, we welcome you back into the Cullip Jennings Florist pregame show here on the Kahoks Sports Network as we get you set for this game between Collinsville and O'Fallon. Here's a look at your starters. We'll begin with the O'Fallon Panthers. In goal will be Sarah Cooley, and in front of her you will have freshman Avery Christopher, followed by sophomore Aubrey Mister. Janae Duger is a junior. I tried to do math in my head because I got all the years listed here. Paige Miller, is a junior. Anna Flath is a junior, as is Sydney Christopher. Abby Burkhalter is a freshman.